G'day. It's 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm sitting on my indoor bicycle, preparing for another day. I've had a lot of contacts from people recently asking me about how to stay positive during this really difficult time of COVID-19 and lockdown. So what I want to do is talk you through a few tips about how to stay positive, to deal with anxiety, and keep your energy and motivation up. I'm actually reading a fabulous book right now by the leadership guru and neuroscientist Federica Fabricius. It's called The Leading Brain. And a lot of what I want to share with you actually comes from what I'm learning in that book. So the first thing here is that research shows very clearly there's a strong link between physical health and well-being and mental health. So exercising, like I'm doing right now, especially aerobic exercise, releases dopamine, releases endorphins, and that stuff is really good for the brain because it helps you to feel more positive. So exercise, sport, and that will help you with your positivity. Now I know you may not be able to go outside. You may have to be on the indoor bike like me, or the indoor running machine, or even just doing some Zumba, but move, even if you're in your apartment at the moment. The second thing here is that just like moving your body helps you to feel positive, smiling does so too. So when you smile, you activate these muscles in your face, and it does a strange thing because it kind of tricks the brain. Because by smiling and activating those muscles, the brain thinks this person must be happy, something good must be going on. So again, in response, it releases certain chemicals into your system, which makes you feel positive. So there's another little trick here related to the physicality, and that's what is called power posing. So research by an American academic, Amy Cuddy, shows that doing this, putting your hands up in the air, making your body big, triggers again this chemical reaction, release of dopamine, release of endorphins, and it makes you feel good. Of course, as an athlete, I know all about that because if I ever cross the finish line in first place, my hands are in the air. It's a feeling of power, of positivity. So make yourself feel big, make yourself feel better. The next piece of this, of course, is that as human beings, we tend to have what is called a negativity bias, right? So there's a good reason for this because nature wants us to survive. So even when things are going great, what we tend to do as human beings is look out for the dangers or the risks. So we tend to overemphasize negativity. So even if everything's going great in our lives, these small negative things we tend to dwell upon and over-dwell upon, and that makes us a little bit unhappy. So how do we counteract that? We can keep what is called a gratitude diary. So every day, just for a few minutes, write down the things that you're grateful for. What do you feel lucky for? So, a few weeks ago, I was feeling pretty down because all of my work was cancelled. Every single talk and workshop and keynote speech was cancelled. I'm thinking, my goodness, I'm unemployed for the coming months. But then what I did is I focused on the positivity. What was the upside? Spending a lot of time with my wife and my children, because normally I'm traveling a lot at this time, having time to sport and exercise, do something that I love. But more importantly, of course, I also got moving professionally. And now when I wake up in the morning, I'm thankful for the incredibly bright, smart, and entrepreneurial people that I'm working with every day. One of them, Federica Fabricius, who I've met during this period of COVID-19 lockdown. So the research shows if you do that on a regular basis, you keep that diary for a month to 6 weeks, it really will help your feelings of positivity and happiness. Now, the research also shows even if you stop keeping the gratitude diary, stop writing things down, you've introduced that habit into your thinking, and the benefits will continue way beyond that period of 5 or 6 weeks. So keep your gratitude diary. The last thing is be generous with people. Now, research shows here if you're generous, you're kind, you do things for other people, then that will also trigger in your body the release of a chemical called oxytocin. It's a bonding chemical that makes you feel better. So right now, what am I doing? I have 3 kids. Every morning when I wake up, I say to them, wake up, smile, be thankful for what the universe has given you, and let's go out there and spread some kindness today. And we try to practice that every day. Of course, I also exercise with them to trigger those releases. So it's not just about us, it's about those around us and helping them to stay happy, positive, and motivated. So thanks for joining This Cycling Life, and I look forward to seeing you perhaps on one of our interactive webinars soon.